That is it, actually. You sit in a room with other people and you're so hyper aware and focused of the energy that you become the most critical of yourself you will ever be, and that's when you listen.
One of the things I love that Mel would do is like we'd be working together and she'd be like, all right, I want to try something. Okay, first bad idea. And I was like, just the way she says that, it makes it so okay to just be like, I don't know, let's try this.
And I have a rule, and I've done this for years as a producer, and now I do it as a director, is that let the editor go for a minute. Like, I send my directors on vacation. I'm like, you have to get away. You need perspective. You need distance. You hired this person for a reason as a collaborator. Give them space to do their first pass.
For the majority of the edit, we were working remotely and we were using Frame for notes, which was so awesome. I just love the ability to be so specific with like this right here, like this moment, rather than being like, oh, what's the time code? The team really wanted to have a small footprint. Like 98% of it is shot in the actual wilderness, not just like a park with trees, like the freaking wilderness, old growth forest, like real far away. And so there wasn't a huge video village. We couldn't just like trample a huge area. And so having camera to cloud allowed all the department heads on set to be kind of in their own little area.
We were able to give every creative key their own iPad. So everybody had access to Frame.io in real time. You could be far away at base camp and know what we were shooting, pretty much in real time.
In the case of Union, it is a film about collective organizing, about the Amazon labor union and how they organized as a large group of people. And that was kind of reflected in the filmmaking process because it was a large film team, especially for a documentary. So there were 2 directors, 2 editors, also working with one of the directors who edited, and 2 producers and a cinematographer who was also a producer. And then on top of that, it's a verite documentary where a lot of writing happens in the edit. So that means that all of us together, that's like at least 7 of us, were talking about the writing of this film. So it meant that it was intensely collaborative, and we had to continue to develop and refine our collaboration process to make it all work.
With Penelope, we were able to catch a big continuity error and shift very quickly. And I mean, as we all know, when we work in indie film or TV, that is everything.
Malika and Blair, there were times where you all had, what did you say, up to 7 people that were working on the project? How did you all work? What was your collaborative process, and how did you work through that?
Our directors weren't always in the same city. For a little while, there was like a few shoots happening on the West Coast as well as happening there in New York. One of our producers was on the West Coast. One of them was out in New York. So I think a big part of it, to be honest, was just sort of the like ease of interoperability across the places that we were in, because it was really only sort of like in very key moments where we could guarantee, okay, we're all going to be in the same place at the same time for these like this week or these next few weeks. But we needed people to be able to get things and review them quite quickly, and it just seemed like an obvious answer to that.
There's a point at which, as a storyteller, you have to start sharing your work, getting other people's voices and opinions about your work, trusting other people as collaborators. What was that like for you, working together for the first time, or sort of building that trust as collaborators?
I'm a big proponent of feedback and listening to the people in your community and listening to people who don't even work in film. I don't make a single thing without sending it out to so many people and getting their notes and getting their thoughts. And you don't have to listen to them. You just need to be open and vulnerable and take that feedback, and it is going to hurt your soul, but find a way to make it better,